Most people look out at the world and see it in 3 dimensions. You look out at the world around you and you think that's what there is. And historians look at the world and they see that everything that you see is just like a thin layer sitting on top of this huge edifice of the past, that everything came from somewhere, and that everything you take for granted as normal and natural is actually the result of this sort of infinitely complicated process. And I want to denaturalize the present. When I was educated, European history was just what everyone was supposed to know. That was history. Berkeley has totally changed the way I think about European history because my students don't come from Europe. And so what I want to do is empower them to think about this history as something that they're allowed to define. They are sovereign interpreters of that history. And they can make that history into something usable for them.
Professor Shagan always encouraged me to participate and build me, and help me to gain confidence. I think the classroom is kind of a home, so I don't feel foreign in the classroom sitting. So
the purpose of learning is to get outside of yourself and to become something more than you are already. Gender is a lens through which you can do any kind of history.
He will engage with us in really difficult and fun discussions, and he treats all students with the respect of understanding that they have something to say, that their life perspective and their position brings them into the academy at a particular moment, and that moment matters to him.
Criticism is a common exercise to try to reach new understanding based on the assumption that we're all engaged in the same knowledge project. And once we start with the assumption that we're all on the same side, then critical thinking is about experimenting, it's about making mistakes. It's not about having the right answer, it's about asking the right questions.
I sometimes realize that some of the stuff that I said in class didn't make sense, but then he would work with those ideas and give you something that you will feel, whoa, I actually had some interesting thought in my mind.
What's happening in the classroom is something separate from me. I think that what's happening in the classroom is about connections between people rather than about a series of individual points of view or opinions.
Professor Shagan listens to students, and he is willing to be a conversationalist in the classroom. He's willing to present the material and then listen to our responses. It's important to him that we do respond to the material, that we have something to say about it.
Everyone not only feels welcome, but everyone's ideas have credence, and that good arguments can come out of really unlikely places. And that unlikely place can sometimes be an undergraduate in a graduate class. I hope I make good arguments.
My goal is for everyone to be colleagues. Me, the students, everyone should be engaged in a common project. I want them to go beyond themselves and who they think they already are in the classroom, and to become a scholar, to become a knowledge maker. Sometimes it's said that academia is a conversation, and that if you're not part of the conversation, you're not really doing scholarship. Everyone can have an idea, but it's that act of learning from other people's ideas while you propagate your own in order to come to some, what's sometimes called a higher state of confusion. I think that's what academics are really doing.